What up, Bears fans? Another episode of Bear Down Now. I'm your host, Jason. Let's talk about Bears, Bills, at Soldier Field, preseason game 2. We talked a little about this before the game. I was looking for no pre-stop operation issues. I was looking for no false starts, no bad alignments. I wanted Caleb to be in control of this game. If they were going to drive on the twos, which they did, he should look like he was calm, confident, and in control, and he did just that. Opening drive, terrible muff by, or decision by Scott to attempt to cover that ball for the kickoff, and they started at the 7-yard line. No problem, though. Caleb goes 5 of 6, 97 yards, and the touchdowns with authority. Not only that, the offense looked simple. The opportunities were there. It looked almost effortless and in control, like I said, from Caleb. 3 passes in a row to tight ends. They attacked the middle of the field, one on a deep crosser and one on a seam to Komet, which was sweet. We'll talk a little bit more about my preference of football, and that's exactly how the best offenses do it. As a Bears fan, we've been so inundated with the idea that you need to go east and west to open up run lanes and stretch out the defense and use up every inch of the field. No. You attack the middle of the field, you condense the defense, so then the outsides are open. That's exactly how you attack vertically. We've been seeing it since 2010s. You have Aaron Rodgers on slants and any type of quick seam busting with the tight end. Killed the Bears. Tight ends for the Patriots in their prime. Gronk and Hernandez, RIP. That's exactly how they tore up defenses. You have all those little option routes by Welker and Edelman. You make those linebackers hesitate a step. That's how you get that going. Anyway, back to the game. I wanted to see them run the ball. They didn't really need to. They moved the ball on command, and that's something we're not used to either. Braxton Jones got the start at left tackle. It was also interesting to see that when the twos came in after 2 drives, Benedict was at left tackle, Trapillo was at right. Benedict led up a little bit of pressure, but nothing that caused any sacks, which was great. I wanted to see 55 Odengbo, make an impact. I think the starting defense was only out for 1 drive, but he did. He didn't get any pressure, but what he did was cause a false start to start the game, albeit against what I think was the twos for Buffalo's offense, but either way, we'll take it. First half, Austin Booker gets a sack, crucial moment, awesome play, then follows it up with almost getting a penalty, not great. Our rookie rundown, 75 Trapillo with the twos, not bad, not great. Interesting for what that means for left tackle battle, we'll keep an eye on it. Luther Burden was a stud. Like, he had 3 catches for 49, I think, a couple crossers, big one on 3rd down. But what impressed me the most was his blocking in the red zone. You look at the first one at the goal line, he had a little short motion crack. And I went, oh shit! And it ended up waking up the dog, and I was super excited to see Greg Olsen call that out seconds later on the replay. And like, guys, I know they just scored a touchdown, but look at this rookie. Wide receiver. You're going to earn so many more points with blocking like that in the red zone and at the goal line than you will with any, 200-yard game, which was a great analogy. That's really true. Like, I've been in locker rooms too. That's exactly how I feel about it. But really cool to see. Loveland, like I said, they opened the game with a quick play-action boot, like a naked little arrow route, caught it like 2 yards above the line, and then he was able to run it up the field for another 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever that was. Hippolyte in coverage, he was always around the ball, but didn't see any big plays. Manunga, I don't think played. They started 38 and 35, the running backs. 38 was Britton Brown. I like the way he runs. 38, I think, has been in camp longer. I think he tweaked an ankle. And then 95, I think, is Shamar Turner. I don't think he was out there yet, if at all. I know he was in pads this week. Finally, been waiting for him. He's been my most exciting rookie to watch, especially on defense. So, to start the game, my first gut reaction was Tyler Scott was not going to make this team after that muff. And then he follows it up with a good catch over the middle. And then he stayed with his route for the corner end zone touchdown from Bajent, which is actually a pretty sweet play by any means. So, that 6th spot for the receiver is going to be tight. I mean, you're going to have DJ Rome, OZ, and Luther Burden for sure. They're probably going to keep Duvernay, I would imagine, as a specialist, but OZ returned the opening punt. So that was interesting. I hear Boykin, one of the big body guys. I don't know. We'll see how the second half goes of this game, but I don't know if any of the other guys for the receiver are going to make it any further in the practice squad. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Unrelated, what do we think about Caleb Williams' sock game? I know he did low socks all the way, like he did that in college, and I bring it here. And with the league, you have to wear the team socks, which are long socks, but he has them all the way down to his ankles. Kind of weird, because it's all a bunch of bunched up sock. fashion statement. I don't know, because we all know the whole nails story, so whatever. All right, takeaways in general as a Bears fan. I think I'm along with just about everybody else. That was fun to watch. I know the offense was mostly against twos, but Caleb was under control. They moved the ball with precision. They moved the ball with tons of yak room. I mean, I don't think Greg Olsen said anything wrong and out of tune. I don't think he said anything that was misleading or overly critical. Again, it's preseason. To be expected. Everyone's in that honeymoon phase of new scheme, new hope, all that type of thing. They did what they should have done, which is something we haven't been able to say very often for the Bears. One's going against the twos, you should move the ball. I said pregame we should see that much on the field. I want a touchdown first drive, if not the first two. Hope they would get a full quarter or a full half. Didn't happen. Fine. But they did exactly that. They did what they were supposed to do. So, where do we go from here? I doubt that we'll see any of the starters playing next week against Kansas City. Just because that's usually how it works. You play the most in your second to last preseason game. Used to be 3. Third game was the dress rehearsal. Fourth game was only for, the back end of the roster. Because they're going to still have to cut. I think over that, Labor Day weekend is the last. So going into after Labor Day weekend, they got to cut down from 90 to 53. That's half the league losing jobs, right? And basically putting on an audition to get on somebody's practice squad. So that's going to be a tough week to see. Let me know who you want to see actually make this roster. We signed a bunch of DBs this week. We just saw Terrell Smith. Unfortunately, has been a bunch of glass. Like, as you guys all know, I'm up in Minnesota, so I'm rooting for the Gopher just because I don't really have a college allegiance. I like USC, but other than that, I've really not taken a liking to any of the Minnesota sports. So I'll go Gophers. College, let's go. But yeah, if he's going to be out, that looked pretty devastating too. I'm a guy. I suffered 2 ACL injuries playing football in college as well. That's brutal. I don't know, from Braxton Jones's performance and from Trapillo playing the right side and then Benedict being the left tackle second off the bench there, I don't know if we're any closer to knowing who the left tackle is going to be. But that's okay, at least for now. We got time. That's what camp is for. I know it's not ideal. If you listen to the podcast before the game, you'll know I kind of told everyone to chill out on that, and I still agree. There's enough to work with that's going to see a significant improvement from what we saw last year on the offensive line. I mean, yeah, Detroit had an elite top 5 offensive line. The Broncos do. Definitely the Philadelphia Eagles do. That's great and all. That's what everyone aspires to do, but it's just not realistic. Most teams not only have to deal with a subpar offensive line, you don't have the same 5. It's just the most consistent thing about football is injury. And last year we were the lowest in continuity stats, where all the same 5 guys played together. But that's not abnormal. Like it's extremely rare to have all of your linemen play together the same year, all year, with no injuries. Anyway, I think my wife's going to appreciate the performance today, just because as the Bears go, so does my mood for the week. So as you can probably tell, I'm in a pretty good mood. I am light. I am, I guess, positive. I'm not saying I'm getting hyped. I'm not saying this is exactly Ben Johnson. Yeah, we won the offseason. We're Super Bowl. Super Bears, Super Bowl. You'll hear that a lot this year. But that's something that I think is going to be really unique in that it doesn't feel like a 5-12 team right now. Again, not because of preseason, but just because we know the attitude of the team and we know exactly where they were last year. And they just look like they're a little bit more buttoned up. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Stock up, Tyson Bagent. If anybody looked like it was under control, it was him. Hemp scrambled well, had a couple nice scrambles, a couple of darts here and there. Poised, excited, a little annoyed when he got this 20-yarder. He didn't show it too much, but you could tell. A little annoyed when that holding penalty brought the 20-yarder back. Stock down. I was going to say Tyler Scott. We'll see. I guess stock down's going to be on the left tackles, just because we're not closer to a decision. Not that it's going to be an elite player. I don't think you need to bring in a 5th one, because Jason Peters is, 50 now? So yeah, we'll see. I was excited to see Ian Wheeler get in there. He actually scored 2. Also, stock up Luther Burden. I don't know if that's cringe to say because it's so obvious, but he could be very interesting this year. I mean, he Greg Olson said the toughness of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's got better physical tools as far as speed and explosiveness than Amon-Ra, but we'll see if he's got the grit, and we'll see if he's got the head on him. I know Luther, coming into the draft there, had some questionable character issues or something with his girlfriend managing him or something like that. But because he missed so much time, it seemed like he was putting out some extra effort to see what he's got to prove, because coach has been on his ass about missing time and not knowing his assignments, and get physical, or go get that ball. So with blocking like today, I'm hoping he doesn't coast after this or get complacent. But with all the rookies, this is especially going to be somewhat exciting to watch. So that's going to be it for tonight's halftime recap, I suppose. We'll catch you during the week. I got a couple of fun clips I was knocking out this weekend. Some fun topical things. We'll talk a little about fantasy. This week is going to be a big fantasy prep week. This coming Friday starts my slow draft for Guillotine, and then I got drafts all next week. I'll be looking for you guys' help there. I'm starting my research. I got some ideas. I've won leagues in the last couple years. I won the Guillotine, not this year, but last year. So I feel like I know what I'm doing a little bit, but I haven't found my guys this year. So if you got guys that you want me to take a look into, or you think that are going to be league winning worthy, DM me directly or put them in the chat, or the comments rather, and let me know why, because that's the back and forth I'm kind of craving right now. And I just like BSing with the boys, or ladies, trying to figure out this whole new fantasy dynasty contract thing. It's gonna be exciting. Anyway, enough ranting and raving here. Bears had a good outing. Gonna have good vibes this week. Be sure to like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, leave a review. You guys know what to do there. Looking forward to getting to know you guys all online. Bear down, baby.